Hi guys, hope you all are well. Today we're going to be making stuffed crust cheesy burst pizza. It's really delicious. It's super simple. All the steps and all the things can be prepared in advance, so it's great for meal prep or parties. It's really cheesy and it has a really delicious crust. So let's get to the recipe, but before that, please subscribe to my channel and give this video a thumbs up if you really enjoy it. So the first thing that we're gonna come to is the pizza dough. It's really easy and it's almost like a no-knead dough, and this is extremely multi-purpose. You can use it for any kind of dough or buns or bread. And all the ingredients are mentioned in the description, so it's easy for you guys. So I'm gonna dump in everything with my flour, and the butter and the egg is optional but highly recommended. It really adds to the flavor of the dough, but if you don't want to use it, you can completely skip it too. If you notice, I'm not using my hand at the moment. I'm just using a spatula. You can use a spoon to just mix the dough and just form it until it starts to come together. I'm using milk to knead it. You can use water if that's what's preferred, or you can use half water, half milk. But I personally feel using milk makes the dough softer and it gives it a richer flavor. Now, once my dough had started to leave the sides of the bowl, I shifted to my hand. I kind of tucked it into a neat little round of dough, and I'm going to cover it up and let it triple or quadruple in size. It may take about 3 to 4 hours depending on how hot it is where you're living at the moment. And once it's risen, I'm gonna deflate it and I'm gonna tuck it in again and give it another rise, and that's gonna happen in the fridge. And once I'm ready to bake it, I'm gonna take it out of the fridge and I'm gonna let it rest for a while. And divide it into the number of pizzas I'm making. This recipe is going to give you 2 large pizzas, so I'm going to divide it into 2 once I'm ready to bake, and again let it sit on the counter for at least half an hour, which relaxes the gluten and helps stretch the pizza dough a lot better, and it doesn't shrink on you. So this goes in the fridge. Meanwhile, we're going to come to our cheesy crust filling. It's super simple. It has just a handful of ingredients. You need milk, butter, flour, some cream cheese, some garlic, which is optional. If you don't like the taste, you can completely skip it. And apart from that, you're going to be needing a ton of cheese. So first you're going to melt your butter on a medium-low flame, and while it's melting, I'm going to add my garlic to it. I'm not going to brown it. I'm just going to let it saute a little bit till it's nice and fragrant, and you're going to start seeing the butter bubble up. At that point, I'm going to add some flour. You need to cook it till the flour is no longer raw. You would want to use a heavy bottom saucepan. It's highly recommended. It's going to start bubbling and going to start leaving the edges and the sides. I'm also adding some black pepper at this point. You can add it towards the end. Whatever you prefer, you can do that. You do you while you're baking. It's completely preferential. Then I'm going to add some milk to turn this into a sauce. It's going to be a fairly thick sauce because it needs to go in the crust, and it needs to hold its shape because we're going to pipe it out or use our hands to make it into sausages, kind of a shape that's going to fill in the crust. And once it's thickened, it's going to be almost like a cream cheese consistency, if that makes sense to you. Then I'm going to add some cream cheese and some Parmesan. If you don't have them available, you can completely skip them too, but they do give a really nice flavor to it. Once both of them have completely been incorporated, this needs to chill, and then you're going to be adding some cheese to it. If you add cheese now while it's hot, it's not going to give a very lovely melty effect while it bakes, so it's very important that you let it cool completely before you add in the cheese. And you can do this step well before in advance. I like to do it at least a day in advance so that it's ready to go when I'm ready to bake my pizza. Next up is the pizza sauce. You can also make this ahead of time. You can make a big batch, you can freeze it. It's a very multi-purpose thing. You can use it in a lot of dishes like pastas. It's fairly simple too. I had some tomato puree, some ketchup. You can use soy sauce or a Worcestershire sauce. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Then there's some chopped onions, some garlic, salt, pepper, some Italian seasoning. You can use oregano, and there's going to be some brown sugar that's going to go towards the end as well. So first I'm gonna take about a tablespoon of oil. My pan is at almost a medium heat at the point, and I'm gonna put in my garlic. I'm gonna saute it till it's nice and fragrant, like always, and then I'm gonna put in my onions. You don't want to brown these onions, they need to be translucent. It's going to take about a couple of minutes to get there. And now I'm going to add my tomato puree. Because my puree is frozen, I'm going to add in a little bit of water, and I'm going to cover it so that it melts. At this point, I turn my flame to low. If yours is fresh, you just completely skip this part and straight up come to adding the ketchup and all the other stuff that I'm adding at the moment. Everything is mentioned in the description below so that it's easy for you. And then you want to cook it for about a couple of minutes, and then you would want to cover it up, turn the heat to the lowest possible setting you have, and let it simmer for at least 30 minutes. The more it cooks, the more flavor it has. And that's what happens with any kind of a pizza sauce. The more you cook it, the nicer it gets. With a bigger batch, I usually let it simmer for at least an hour and a half to about an hour. And if you want your pizza sauce to be chunky, just let it be like this. I like mine fairly smooth, so I'm just going to use my hand blender to smooth it out till it's really nice and luscious and delicious. And here you have it, your pizza sauce is ready. This again can be used in lots of things like spaghetti, pasta, lasagna, you name it. So now I'm gonna go towards the filling. I'm using chicken tikka pieces, the recipe of which I have shared, and I'm gonna link it above so you can use it and freeze it, and it's there when you want. Coming towards the assembly, I took out my pizza dough half an hour before. I deflated it, divided it into 2 balls, and these are resting for about 20 minutes, and then I'm going to start assembling. So once you're ready to assemble your pizza, just have everything ready just by your side. Use the toppings you like to use, which are your favorite. I also added the cheese into my crust filling, and now I'm just gonna oil or grease my pan a little bit. Even though it's a non-stick pan, I like to do it. And now I'm gonna stretch my pizza dough using my hands. Since this has been resting for a while, it's gonna be fairly easy to stretch it, and it's not gonna shrink on you a lot. If you like to use a rolling pin, you can completely do that too. After that, I used my hands to roll out some sausage-like shapes of the crust filling, and I kind of filled it. I also added some more mozzarella cheese. Mozzarella cheese, by the way, is what gives that stringy effect. The more you add it to a pizza, the more stringy it's gonna be. And then I used water just to stick the crust to itself. Make sure that it's nice and tightly tucked in so that it doesn't kind of explode or slip out while it's baking. Then use a fork to make some holes because it's gonna melt, it's gonna bubble. You want to have some outlets from where the steam can go out, and so that it doesn't burst. Next, it's gonna be the pizza sauce, followed up by some toppings. After the pizza sauce, one thing that I like to do is before adding my toppings, I added a layer of cheese. This gives it a really nice and stringy effect, and I make sure that it's mozzarella. And I like to use about 70% mozzarella, and I mix it up with other cheese so that it's stringy and flavorful. Once it's ready to go in the oven, bake it for about 15 to 18 minutes or till it's nice and golden brown. It's gonna happen at a preheated oven of 450 degrees. And this is how the pizza look. It's really delicious. I hope you enjoyed the recipe. If you did, please do give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. To remember me in your prayers. Until next time, the homemaker baker over and out.